Peace, Astro fam. What up? It's been a while. Peace, my Astro Bays. It's been a while since I did one of these things, okay? I hope all is well with y'all. I hope you guys are feeling healthy, wealthy, and blessed, okay? What a time to be aligned, okay? So, in this Astro video, I'm going to be talking about these upcoming transits for July and so on. But before I dive into these upcoming astrological transits and things, go copy your shirt, okay? Yang is available for purchase. It comes in multiple colorways. Maroon colorway is not available until the fall and winter. However, we have multiple colors, multiple beautiful bright colors, black and white. Yang is available. Astrology party in the back of the shirt. Go cop. So if you have any cardinal placements, Aries, Capricorn, Libra, Cancer, Aries, Capricorn, Libra, Cancer. And you are going to be feeling this shift from the North Node moving into Aries, okay? So the North Node going into Aries on July 17th is going to be a shift into like, okay, we've sat with this information that we gathered from the North Node and Taurus, right? Because Taurus likes to take their time digesting things. Taurus likes to take their time with information and things like that. So it's like we sat with this information. Now let's take a leap of faith into it. Let's take a leap of faith with it, especially when it comes to investing in our self-worth and our self-image. You know, Aries is the first of the zodiac. Aries is all about self. How can self be the most prosperous? How can self be the most prolific? How can self be the most abundant? How can self be the most inspired, right? Because that's a fire sign still. That's a cardinal fire sign. So it is still about being inspired, being motivated to change. You know, you may not have had the vitality to get things going with Taurus and Scorpio on the nodes, right? Because they're fixed. They're a little more stubborn or slow to respond. They can be. So with the North Node, South Node going to Aries, Libra, it's like now I have the energy, especially because Aries is ruled by Mars, right? So Mars is the planet of action, assertion, passion. So you might have the energy now to knock off these goals, right? Because Aries is definitely goals oriented. Aries at its highest octave is goal oriented. What can I do to accomplish these dreams and goals for myself so I can make myself feel good and put myself in position, right? With the South Node going to be in Libra, okay? The South Node of Libra will be highlighting partnerships in a sense of what does our currency look like in our partnerships, right? This is when we get into the energy of our network is our net worth, okay? South Node of Libra will be showing like, okay, does this partner, does this friendship, does this relationship, does this connection really fulfill you on a soul level? Yeah, it may look good, North Node in Aries. It may feel good for the moment, but South Node in Libra is like, is it really balanced? Is it really full of duality? Is it really equal? Is this an equal partnership? Is this an equal connection? Is this an equal relationship? Is it justified? Is it moving in divinity? Is it moving in lightheartedness? When I think of Libra, I think of the Egyptian Queen Ma'at, right? Balance of the scales. Like, does this really feel good on a soul level, on a mental level, on a heart level, right? So that's going to be the energy that we'll be dwelling in. North Node in Aries, that transit, you know, it's gonna be glitzing and glamoury because, you know, the South Node in the Venus sign, North Node in Aries likes to pop off and look good even when they're not feeling good. They like to, you know, put on a brave, courageous face even when shit is not looking that way. So when we get deep into those transits, oh man, we maybe start to see how petty some people can be, how petty we can be. We may start seeing a side of ourselves or others that displays mischievous behavior, argumentative behavior. You know, North Node and Aries, we need to pick and choose our battles wisely. Okay? Everything doesn't need your energy to feed into. Everything doesn't need you to fight for. You know, North Node and Aries, South Node in Libra, is it really worth you fighting for? Is it really worth you going hard for? Is it really worth you taking a risk for? Is it really worth you taking a sacrifice for? Excuse me, got the hiccups, y'all. North Node in Aries, we may be seeing an increase in car accidents. We may be seeing an increase in fights. We may be seeing an increase in violence. We may be seeing an increase in rioting. We may be seeing an increase in protesting. We may be seeing an increase in rebellious energy when it comes to people taking action towards systems and corporations and things, because Aries is the energy. Aries doesn't like being told what to do. Aries doesn't like backing down. Aries doesn't like falling for anything. You know, Aries doesn't like dictatorship and things, right? Whereas North Node and Taurus is a little more passive aggressive than Aries, you know. But with the South Node going to be in Libra, it could be also highlighting how you've been standing for things that don't even really align, like because Libra can also be a passive aggressive energy, you know, for the peace, the sake of the peace, the sake of the relationship, the sake of the connection, the sake of this experience, the sake of this opportunity, the sake of this aesthetic. But we got to get out of that energy, you know, because at Aries and Libra's highest octave, they're doing what's right for their self on a mental level, on a heart level, on a godly level, not just because it benefits them in the moment or because it benefits where they're trying to go, you know, because I'm gonna come for you Libra placements. I'm coming for you Libra placements. Y'all gonna want to tussle with me on this one, but I'm coming for you niggas, okay? I'm coming for you niggas. And when I say you niggas, I'm talking about men and women. Just know that moving forward. Okay? South Node in Libra. It's gonna be on Libra's, it's gonna be on y'all head. What y'all did in the past, right? Because the South Node is about the past, whereas the North Node is about the future, the present. Where the North Node is about what we do in the present that leads us towards our inevitable future, our inevitable destiny, our inevitable fate. Okay? So with the South Node on you Libra placements, you are going to be having to face, right? Because when I think of Libra, when I think of an air sign, I think of mirror. I think of reflecting, reflective energy, reflective moments, reflective situations, okay? So South Node in Libra, you Libra placements, you guys are going to be faced with opportunities to where you guys are going to have to think, oh man, I maybe was not a good friend at this time and space. I probably wasn't a present friend. I probably didn't show up for my connections, my partner, as best as I could. I probably didn't show up for myself as best as I could. I probably wasn't honest, because yeah, I'm not gonna go too crazy on y'all, okay? Which they don't call y'all lying ass Libras for nothing, because Libra energy, y'all can really tell yourself and others a lie and really believe the shit. I don't like it. Okay? I don't like it. I ain't standing for it. Right? But the North Node in Aries is going to encourage you to be courageous about owning your shit, Libras. Right? Because the North Node is going to be opposing Libra suns. Your sun, your moon, wherever you have Libra, the North Node is going to be opposite of that. So it's going to be a yin yang energy. Shout out to Yang. Okay, go purchase. Okay, it's going to be a yin yang energy. It's going to be that pull of light and dark energy. So Libra placements, you will be faced with opportunities to, if you're a Libra placement who failed to speak up for yourself, you know, you're passive aggressive in situations or connections that are still in your life that you didn't advocate for yourself. That's going to be coming up. You might reflect on memories to where you weren't 100% honest with yourself and others. You weren't 100% accountable with yourself and others. Because when I think of Libra, I also think of accountability. You know, so that Aries, that fire energy is going to be like, be courageous to change things, right? Because it's still cardinal. Be courageous to change things. Be courageous to do things differently, okay? And it's going to be a busy day on July 17th because, you know, the North Node shifts into Aries on July 17th, but it's also still Cancer season, and it's going to be a new moon in Cancer on July 17th. So the sun and the moon will be joining together, whereas a couple of days ago, we just had the full moon in Capricorn. So the sun and the moon were opposites, okay? They were opposites, but the sun and the moon will be conjoined in Cancer, as it will be a new moon in Cancer on July 17th as well, the same day that the North Node moves into Aries. So this will be an opportunity to renew our relationship with how we connect to our heart chakras, how we connect to our emotional intelligence, how we connect to our sense of home. It could be our physical home, our home in our heart, our home in our mind, our family, you know, our loved ones, what we cherish, what we connect to intimately and deeply on an emotional and psychological level. You may, you know, especially with the North Node shifting into Aries on the same day as a new moon in Cancer, you may be having intuitive downloads of, wow, I should assert myself differently when it comes to how I express my emotions. I should assert myself differently when it comes to my relationship with food. I should assert myself differently when it comes to my goals, right? Because Cancer is goal-oriented. Just like Aries, Cancer is goal-oriented, you know. Cancer is definitely money motivated as well. Cancer is definitely motivated when it comes to their bag and their goals and things. So you may be coming into intuitive downloads. Well, how can I go about these things on a level that feels true to my heart? Okay. New moon in Cancer, some of you may be moving into a new home, or you may be feeling the energy of just cleansing your home, deep cleaning your home, or you may be feeling the energy of redecorating your home, you know, just creating space for newness around your home, your emotional intelligence, the things and the people that you feel close to on a heart level, okay? New moon in Cancer, North Node in Aries on the same day is giving new you from the inside and out, right? Because Cancer is all about the inside as well, while Aries is about the outside. So new you, internally and externally. What does that look like? What does that feel like, most importantly? Right? Because this is coming back to our feelings. And the moon is at home in Cancer, right? Because the moon rules over Cancer. So this will be a comfortable, good moon. It feels good. It feels comforting, but it also feels motivating as fuck. Like, get off your ass, right? Because Cancer on the lower octave can be a procrastinator, can be lazy. So it's like, with the North Node in Aries, new moon in Cancer on the same day, get up off your ass and do the things that you said you was going to do. Make those videos that you said you were going to make, right? Because Cancer is a creative energy as well. Cancer is an abundant creative energy. You know, Cancer does represent the mother in the womb and things like that, and fertility. Cancer definitely represents fertility, but fertility is just creative energy. You know, you can be fertile with creative energy. You can be fertile with opportunities. You can be fertile with ideas. So this new moon in Cancer, North Node in Aries on the same day is like, what space are you making in yourself, in your life, in your heart, in your feelings, in your mind, to create opportunities to do the things that you really want to do? Okay, so that's on that. And we have retrograde season coming up. This summer is going to be definitely ending with retrogrades. Okay. We have Venus retrograde in Leo on July 22nd. So July is a bit of a busy month. We got the node shifting, we got the new moon in Cancer, we had a full moon this month, Venus retrograde in Leo on July 22nd. Yeah, it's a bit of a busy month, okay? So now Venus retrograde in Leo. Venus retrograde in Leo. Venus rarely goes into retrograde, about once a year, okay? So this is a pivotal time. Okay. And, you know, with Venus representing our relationships, our resources, our love languages, and you know that all starts within ourselves. I'm going to always emphasize how everything starts with ourselves, because that's just what it is. Okay. So Venus retrograde in Leo. Now, Leo rules over the heart chakra. Leo is a fire fixed sign. It rules over the heart chakra. It's the only sign that is ruled by the sun. So it definitely represents how we shine, how we go about recognition, how we relate and connect to recognition and accolades and beauty. You know, Leo is a dramatic energy. So it's like, pop off then, shine then, do your shit then, do your 1-2 then, right? But Venus retrograde in Leo, it's like, okay, let's take our time to reflect on our relationships that we connect to on a soul level, right? Because the heart chakra is the soul, you know, right? That's our connection to God. It's our heartbeat. Like, we are nothing without our heartbeat. Period. So Venus retrograde in Leo, and it's going to be conjunct Mars for a bit until Mars moves into Virgo. So with Mars direct in Leo while Venus is retrograde in Leo, it's going to be a tug of war energy. It's going to be a tug of war energy. It's like, definitely relationships from the past are going to be coming up, and it's like, does this relationship look good, Leo? Because Leo is another energy that likes to look good, but is it really good for you on a soul level? That's what the retrograde is going to be highlighting. Is it really good for you on a soul level? Is it really good for you? Like, are these friendships, are these relationships, do they support loyalty? Do they support your passions? Do they show up for your passions? Do they show up for your dreams? Is it surface, right? Because Leo can be a surface energy. Leo can be shallow, excuse me. So it's like, are these relationships shallow, or are they full of depth? Okay. Venus retrograde is going to be a good time to go over and reflect about our resources. So you might need to cut back on some things. You might need to cut back on some spending, on some unnecessary spending. A lot of you may be already feeling the energy of like, okay, I need to go over my budget. I need to go over my finances and see how I've been spending. Do I really need to be investing in this right now, right? Because Venus is about investment. So Venus retrograde is like, is this really a smart investment? Is this really a prolific investment? Should I let go of this? Should I detach from this? Venus retrograde, not a good time to be doing anything out of the norm or doing anything new when it comes to your aesthetic. As far as like tattoos, I know y'all probably been seeing that a lot. It's true. Listen, this is not a good time to get tattoos. I got a tattoo. I got this neck tattoo. Let me be an example, okay? Because God did create me to be a martyr of some sorts, okay? I got this tattoo. God got us during a Venus retrograde. Now, I don't necessarily regret the intention of the tattoo or the placement or the color, but I do regret the aesthetic of the tattoo. And I got it during the Venus retrograde. Okay? So let me tell you, don't go getting new things, signing new contracts. And when I say new, I mean out of the blue. Venus retrograde is not a great time for taking action towards spontaneous decisions when it comes to your physical appearance. Venus retrograde, definitely not a good time for getting any new surgeries, any new cosmetic surgeries. I'm not even gonna go too deep into it, but rest in peace, Jackie O, okay? Not a good time to be getting any new cosmetic surgeries during the Venus retrograde because things like that could be a thing. Venus retrograde may not be the good time for you to move into a new home because you might not want that home when Venus goes direct. Venus retrograde, not a good time for you to be investing into new partnerships. For example, if you're the type of person who just gets into a relationship out of the blue, you just say you met a person on Monday, next Tuesday you're in a relationship with them. Not a good time for that during Venus retrograde, okay? Not a good time to be doing a lot of splurging because you may realize like, damn, I overspent, I overindulged. You know, Venus retrograde wants us to take a look at how we're indulging in our pleasures. You might realize that you overindulge, that you need to create firmer boundaries, okay? Venus retrograde is a good time for looking at our past passions, our past passion projects, like, do we really want to move forward with these passion projects? Do we really want to invest in these passion projects, or should we let them go? You know, Venus retrograde is a good time for that sort of introspection and reflection. Okay. Also, Venus retrograde is a good time for taking a look at our connections and seeing like, does this connection really fulfill me? Or does this connection make me feel like I'm not worthy? Does this connection make me feel like I'm not enough? If it does, let it go. Okay. Also, we have Chiron going retrograde, and Chiron is still in Aries. So Chiron will be in retrograde on July 23rd. Now, when the North Node moves into Aries, the North Node is going to be retrograde for a little bit, okay? So the day after Venus goes into retrograde, Chiron will be going retrograde. Now, Chiron will be joining the North Node, right? Because the North Node is in Aries, Chiron will be in Aries, and they'll both be retrograde for a bit. The North Node, Chiron will be retrograde in Aries for longer than the North Node, but they'll be conjunct for a bit. So, you know, Chiron in Aries has been Chiron in Aries has been a ghetto transit. Okay. Chiron in Aries has definitely been a ghetto transit, but Chiron in Aries is definitely about healing the self, mastering our self-healer, mastering how we go about healing, how we think about ourselves, right? Because when I think of Aries, I think of how we affirm our worth, our affirmations, positive affirmations, right? So Chiron going retrograde in Aries is definitely going to be an opportunity to be like, hey, my nigga, did you really do that healing work? Did you really heal that wound, right? Because Aries is a fire sign. So ultimately fire, it's light. And what does light do? Light reveals things. Light, what's done in the dark, water, earth, comes to light. Aries, fire, air. So Chiron retrograde in Aries is like, did you really let go? Did you really heal? Did you really do the work? Or did you dress it up and make it real for you? Okay. And then we have Mercury going retrograde in Virgo on August 23rd. You already know what Mercury retrograde's about. Take your time. Technology gonna be tripping. Be patient. Communicate better. And Mercury is at home in Virgo, so yeah. Okay. Uranus will be going retrograde in Taurus on August 28th. I'm telling you, it's a retrograde summer. Okay, Uranus will be going retrograde in Taurus August 28th. So Uranus retrograde in Taurus, technology will be glitching a little bit. Especially when it comes to social media, the internet, computers, things like that. Uranus retrograde in Taurus wants us to take a look. Did we do right? Because when I think of Uranus, I think of necessary change that we didn't necessarily want to do. Okay? Unexpected change. So Uranus retrograde in Taurus is coming back to our resources, our investments, our value, how we go about that on a mental level. So Uranus retrograde in Taurus is like, did you really change those thought patterns when it comes to your food addictions? Did you really change those thought patterns when it comes to your spending habits? Did you really change those thought patterns when it comes to your passive aggressiveness? That's going to be the energy with Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Okay. Jupiter will be going retrograde in Taurus a couple days after Uranus will be going retrograde in Taurus. So Jupiter and Uranus will be conjunct retrograding in Taurus. Jupiter will go retrograde in Taurus on September the 4th. So like I said, we're going about this summer with retrogrades, ending with retrogrades, going into fall. Okay. So Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, especially with it being conjunct Uranus in Taurus, this is going to be a time to where our money might slow down. Or from things that we did in the past that set us up for financial freedom, we might be receiving the fruits of our labor during that time. Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, it's gonna, blessings might feel delayed. If you have natal Jupiter retrograde in your chart like me, you know that things feel like delayed, blessings feel delayed. The presence of God in your life may feel delayed, but really it's just you need to cultivate more patience. You need to cultivate more faith. Jupiter retrograde is about cultivating a deeper level of faith, even when things are not in motion or in action how you want them to be. Okay? That's all. Okay? So that's what we have upcoming with the astrological transits. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to be showing my face. I'm so happy to be making the best out of what we got, because that's what Venus retrograde is about. Making the best out of the resources that you have. Venus retrograde in Leo is like, yes, you're passionate about these things. You want to invest in these things because they make you feel alive. They make you feel happy. They fulfill your inner child. They fulfill your dreams. They make you feel like you have something worth living. But Venus retrograde is like, take what you have now and make the best out of it. So when I go direct, you'll have more to add to that. Okay? Please share, like, subscribe, cop a shirt, support. Please don't be an energy leech. I'm a Cancer and I'm sensitive about my shit. I'm so happy to be back. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for tuning in. Comment all the things. Peace, my loves.